Hello everyone, so in this video what we'll do is we'll look at some commands that you find on the sketch toolbar, and then we'll play around with these. Obviously we'll not do all of them because we won't have time, but then most of them are basically intuitive, so you can just play around with them. So if we go to the software, if you remember from the last video, this is the first page you get. So now we will follow the same steps we did on the last video. So we'll open a new project, click on new, single project, give it a name, example, and then click finish, then click done. After that, we want to create a standard IPT file, but remember we will not click here. We go to file, we go to new. Also this standard IPT is in inches, so we have to change that. Go to metric, standard IPT in millimeters, and then we create. You wait for it. This is the environment as we've seen in the last video. So what I want to do now is to start a new 2D sketch, so I will be able to draw the lines and stuff. The default screen that you get is a 3D, but we don't have any sketch. We have to start with a sketch before we come to 3D. So I will come here to start a new 2D sketch, and then the next step is to select your plane. I'll just select XY plane, and then as you can see on this 3 on the left, it says sketch 1, meaning we started a new sketch. So if we do a 3D feature, it will show here. So the first thing we want to do is to look at this region for creation. So we have a line here, so you can create a line. So it's simple to create a line. We have these different types of lines, but the most famous one is this one, the 2-point line. So we click on that. So to start a line, if you read here on the left corner, it says select start of a line, and then drag off endpoint or those sort of things. So I will left click on the mouse, so you can move your mouse to left or right. So if I go to the right and give it a length, maybe 10 millimeters, that's it. So if you want to continue, you can continue. You can even draw lines at some angle. So if you want to specify the angle, you see now it's highlighting the length of the line. So if you want to specify the angle, you press tab on your keyboard. So maybe specify 120, and then press tab again to give it a length, so like 7 millimeters, and then you press enter. So it will create another line. So if you do not want to continue, you can press escape on your keyboard. So we have that line and the second one at some angle, and the next command. So if you want to move your sketch, you can just come here and on this side and click on this little hand to pan. So panning, you will click and hold your left button on the mouse, so you can move. If you don't have any space, you can move the drawing around. Or the shortcut, if you escape on that one, the shortcut is to hold down the wheel of a mouse. That's panning, right? So the next command is your circle, which is also easy. So the circle that we have is, we have to specify the center point. So if I want to draw the circle on this line, you see I have that yellow dot. If you can notice, that means the yellow dot is meaning I am anywhere in the line. So the special snaps of the line will turn green. What do I mean by special snaps is like the start point will be green, and then also the middle of that line, center, it will be green. Also the end point will be green. So if I want to specify my center as one of those special snaps, I can do that. For instance, I can put a circle here, and then we give it a radius, a diameter of 10, and so on. So the next one is your arc. Also, the arcs, you get different types of arcs. We have the 3-point arc. So if I want to create an arc, I have to select to specify 3 points. First one, second one, and then you just bend it. And then that dimension you see there is the radius for your arc. So you can just specify maybe like 4 millimeters. So that will be your arc. I'll just delete that arc. So the next one is your rectangle. Also you get different types of rectangle. Select that one with 2 points. If you read on the corner, it says select the first corner. We're selecting the first corner, and then the end, the opposite corner, which is that. Which is simple. And then if you want to dimension any object that you have, so when you create your rectangle, you can dimension it as you're creating it, or you can dimension it later. So what I mean by that is you can click and you see it's highlighting that dimension. So if I want, I can just say 15, and then my height will be, I press tab if I want to change the dimension. So I'll just make it 6 millimeters. So I get a 6 by 15. Or if I want to dimension it later, I can come to dimension tool here. So I'll select the line to dimension, then press outside, make it 15 millimeters, and then another one, make it 5, just like that. So you can just play around with these controls, your text, if you wanna put some text on your drawing. So the fillet, we have a fillet here. The fillet, okay, another thing, if you hover around around these controls, it will show you some notes that you can read. So if you see here, the fillet is just the rounded corners. You have to specify the radius for those, and then, so for instance, if we want rounded corners on that rectangle that we have, I'll just select, and then you have to specify radius. You can make it 3 millimeters, and select the first line, select the second line, and then escape. So that's where you get that rounded corner. So if we move now to the modifying region, so to modify, you can move an object, you can copy, you can rotate, split, extend, and trim. So let's say if I want to move this circle, I'll click on move, and then if you read here at the bottom, it says select geometry to move. So I'll select that circle, and then you have to specify the base point. The base point is the part of that object that you want to hold when you're moving. So if I select base point, I want to snap on the center, and then you can see I'm moving that. So the trim, so if you go next to the trim, it's just to cut some areas that you don't want, as you can see on that example. So for instance, if you check on this circle, if we don't want this part, this line here, we'll just trim it. Easy, like that. And then we have copy, which is the same as, it works the same as move. So if you want to copy the circle, you select the object, select the base point, then you just click where you want to put it. Then we have two circles. So scaling, you can scale up or scale down something. So for example, if I click on scale, then I select an object, and then you have to select the base point, which is, I'll select the center. Okay, I have to put the scaling factor. So let's say if I want to make that diameter 5 millimeter, so I have to scale it down by 0.5. And then, okay, there's a constraint, so I have to delete this one first. If I delete that, that dimension was constraining that circle, so scale it again, 0.5, select, and then we apply. So if we dimension again, you can see it's now 5 millimeters. So now we move to offset. So offsetting is just if you want to copy something like a line or an object with a specified distance. So for example, I'll just draw some line, which is 10 millimeters, and then if I want to offset this, copy this line at some offsetted distance, so I'll just press offset, click this line, and then you move to the direction of your offset. You can either move to the left or right, and then you specify the distance, so they will be 15 millimeters apart. So that's your offset. And then next one, we come to the pattern. So the pattern is a shortcut of drawing similar objects. So for example, if I want to draw little circles around this circle, I can draw one, and then I'll use the circular pattern, which will copy that one circle. So we create a circle, put it here. I won't even dimension it. So if I select a circular pattern, it will ask me to select the geometric pattern. Click on that one, and then you click enter. It says define axis of revolution, so that would be my axis of revolution, and then you can specify the number of copies, so you can go 10 maybe, and then enter, and then you can see that it copied those little circles around that one. And then also there's a rectangular one. So for rectangular, your axis of rotation must be rectangular in shape. It also works the same, like similar way as this one. So now we go to the constraint region. One way of constraining something will be dimensioning it. So for example, as you saw earlier, when I tried to scale down this circle, it was not allowing me because there was a dimension. So it didn't want to change that, because if you specify a dimension, it means that circle must stay with that dimension, it must not change. So in this region we get tangent. So if I want this circle to be tangent with that one, just use tangent, click on that one, and then they become tangent, either like that. And then you get parallel, and then you get coincide, you get perpendicular. So to use the parallel one, I'll show you now. I'll just draw a line at some angle, and then if I want this line and this one to be parallel, I'll just click on that parallel one. So that one and that one will make them parallel. So you can just play around with these controls, and then you will get used to them. If I want to use, there's also concentric. So if I want two circles, to be concentric about the center point, I can just use that tool. Select this, and then select the second object. Then they will be concentric about the center point. So now, if I can just delete all these other things, I want to show you how to finish your sketch. Just delete these. Let's just say we had all of these. I mean, we only had this one in our sketch. So if we now want to finish our sketch, that means we are ready to go to the 3D modeling. So if I press finish, this green check mark, it will take me to the 3D. So I'll just show you one control here, but it's outside the scope of this video. So if we want to extrude, and then we can just select what we want to extrude. As you can see now, it's in 3D. You can specify the distance for that. And then we have like a 3D. So just to show you the part control now, if I want to select a front view, it will show me front view. If I want to see the right view, click on the right, that's my right view. Top view, okay, it won't be different on this case. So that's basically it. Or if you want to rotate, you can hold shift button on your keyboard, and then you hold down your key your wheel on the mouse, then you can rotate around your object. But then don't worry much about the 3D, we'll still have a video of the 3D. So what I want to do now is to draw the hook, but I'm thinking that this video is taking long, so we'll just close this video and then we'll open one with where we'll start the new sketch of the hook.